Hello and welcome to the channel. So today we're going to do this a little bit differently because I'm having technical difficulties and I don't have the time to really go in depth to fix it right now, but I will later so you can see my beautiful face. I know you guys miss it. So let's go ahead and cover this anyway. So in this particular video, we're going to go in depth between the comparison of the two vehicles that I have for you guys today. So we're going to compare the BZ4X, which is the Beyond Zero from Toyota. It's kind of like the version of the RAV4, which is electrified pretty much. And they have the alternative version, which is the Solterra, which is the Subaru's version that's being built, or they're working together. So in this video, I'm not really going to be comparing it to the Solterra. I am going to be comparing the price as well as the range between two different companies. It's going to be the Ioniq 5 and the BZ4X. So I will have both, comparison on the screen for you guys to check out. And as always, I will be leaving the links in the description if you want to go read the article. And I tried to consolidate all that information over with the highlighter so I can highlight just the key factors of the video so we don't waste a lot of time. So without further ado, let's go ahead and cover this specification of electrification for the future. Now, when it comes to price, it's going to be a little bit different because we're comparing it to the UK market versus the United States market, which is going to be obviously the prices are going to be different when it releases over here because of the conversion rates are a little bit different. So let's go do that right now. All right, so here we are. We're on two different websites. So everything here is facts. You can go check it out for yourself if you want to. Like I said, I will be leaving a link in the description. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do that. I promise some quality content coming your way here. Yeah. So over here we have the BZ4X, which undercuts the Tesla Model Y by $13,000 in the UK market. So I expect the same thing to be here in the United States market. Hopefully, it will have it will come out at a price of about 41,000 or $40,000 for the United States market, but who knows? But I know this one for sure is coming out for the United States market. It's going to be 40,925, which is way cheaper when you're considering the alternative that's out in the market right now, which is Tesla. So let's go ahead and Tesla Motor Company. So when you're comparing these two vehicles, the BZ4X versus the Honda Ioniq 5. I really like the Ioniq 5. I like that retro look. Um, I yeah, and I saw it at the auto show. It was one of my favorites there. So these are the purchasing price when you're comparing the three vehicles together. I guess we're comparing three vehicles now. Initially, I wanted to do just the two vehicles, but I guess we're tossing Tesla into the mix. And Tesla starts at 58,000 for the Model Y with the long range because that's the version that you want. You want the longest amount of range possible. Well, at least that's for me. So, anyways, back to here. So I'm gonna try not to make this video long. No promises, but I'm gonna try my best here. So, for the base model, you're gonna get the Pure, and these are all the add-ons that's going to be coming with it. I'm not going to read all of them. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of information here, but I just highlighted the Pure, which is the base model, and it's going to be 41,950 euros, which translates to about $55,600 in US market. Then you have the next trim up, which is the BZ4X Motion, available with front wheel drive, and that is going to be 45,750 with all-wheel drive system costing you $48,350. Um, Now, when you go over to the Ionic, the 5, the base model starts at 40,925, which gives you a range of 220 miles, comparing to the BZ4X, which only gives you about 279 um, mile range, which is plenty of range for the base model pure. And with all these goodies, it sounds like, for me, in my own opinion, this is way more attractive comparing to the Ionic. Now, don't get me wrong, the Ionic 5 looks amazing, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Some people might not like the design of it. I dig the design. Reminds me of just just the 80s and 90s. Even though I didn't grow up in the 80s, I'm a 90s kid. You know, I was born in the in the 80s, so I'm a 90s kid. So I like that whole styling, that whole retro, that whole Back to the Future, the lights. Man, I dig it. I dig it. I dig what Hyundai is doing over there. Okay, moving on. So the base model doesn't really give you much range. If you do want to step it up, you can and get to 77.4 kilowatt hour battery, and that will give you 303 miles of range, EPA rated. But it just all this stuff is kind of just subjective because you got to take into different things in factor. Like you got to take into consideration of how much AC you're using, how fast are you driving, what is the weather outside, if it's a hot climate or whatever, you may be, using more battery. Just everything depends on what you're actually doing in the vehicle and whether you're running, your infotainment system or you're watching a movie or whatever you're doing. All that affects your range when it comes to electric vehicles. Proceed, going on. Alrighty, so the next, I believe we did. So these are all I don't want to cover everything that comes in it because then this would be a long ass video. That's why I'm leaving the link in the description so you can go check it out yourself and you can read all the goodies. All the goodies. Topping out the regular model lineup is the Vision grade. It starts at 47,650, about $63,150 in American dollars, which is a lot of money. And then if you want the all-wheel drive, which is an additional what, $3,450 for all-wheel drive. And anytime you decide to go all-wheel drive with these vehicles, it definitely affects your range. So take that in consideration. If you want the maximum amount of range, you want to get either the front wheel drive or rear wheel drive, whichever system that each company offers. That usually gives you the best amount of range. And as you can see here too, Toyota claims that the entry level BZ4X will have a range of around 450 kilometer, which is about 279 miles, which is damn good comparing it to the Ioniq 5, which only gives you about 220 for the very base model of SE. Um, to me, I just feel like the BZ4X, since it's a Toyota product, it's going to be way more premium interior wise comparing to the Ioniq. I've been inside the Ioniq, and especially the one model that they did show is kind of like a higher trim model when I went to the auto show. Um, Other than that, that it looked good. I like it. I love it. Actually, I love it. But the only thing is the range. We definitely need more range. Okay, so here we go. The AC range has 168 horsepower from a single electric motor. Upgrading to the bigger battery brings on more powerful 225 horsepower. Motor increases estimated ranges to 303. The dual motor all-wheel drive configuration is available only with their bigger battery and costs $3,500 extra for SE, SLE models, and $3,900 extra for the top limited model. And of course, obviously, when you're going up the given more range, you're gonna get more power as well too. So you can get 320 horsepower, but has a shorter range estimated of 256. Same thing, kind of like the Tesla version. When you're trying to go from the long range to the performance, you're actually gonna lose some range there. You're losing about 15. Um, yeah, I love Teslas. I love it. I love Teslas, and I love the Ioniq 5. The BZ4X just looks like any other SUV or crossover, whatever the names are, man. But the Tesla definitely stands out to me, and I will definitely buy one, but the price is just out of reach right now. $58,000, and it just have so many problems with them when it comes to the fit and finish, especially now with the shortages of the semiconductors. I feel like they're cutting even more corners and delivering a superior product, missing USBs, just a bunch of different things that are going on. But it's not them that's only affected. It's every company out there that's making any kind of product. Doesn't matter whether you're making plastic bags or whatever it is, you're struggling, you know. So anyway, that's the video. I hope you really enjoyed it because I really enjoyed making it, and I hope that it was informative for you guys. I tried to keep it short and just stick to facts. And yeah, so these prices may seem insane, but every market is different. So we're definitely not going to be paying $60,000 for a base model RAV4 or a base model BZ4X. It's a weird name. So maybe ours will be around 40,000, just around that price. I'm assuming it's going to be around that price. Plus, you get an additional $7,500 off from the federal government if you live in the States. And depending on what state that you're in, if you're in California, you get more incentive from the power company, so that's good. Um, if you decide to buy a Tesla, then you get no incentive because they have already reached they have reached the limit of amount of vehicles that they can get that incentive on. But they're trying to pass that new legislative to give us more incentives for purchasing EVs, especially Teslas. So maybe that's the reason why they're raising up their prices, because they know that incentive is coming, so people can purchase their vehicle, you know, more. And yeah, there's a July 2022 is the closest time you'll be able to get one. Anyway, I think I rambled on long enough. I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. If you enjoy the content, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And you have yourself a very blessed day. I am out of here.